Hey y'all, welcome back to InDFlix. Episode 7 of Love is Blind UK Season 2 cranks the drama up to full gear. A mixer night ignites raw emotions, truths come crashing in, and we finally get a face-to-face showdown between Aanu and Patrick. If you're new to InDFlix, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Make sure you like and leave comments down below. We're about to get into this chaos. Our episode kicks off. Ashley and Billy are having a conversation of what happened prior at the grocery store and how much Billy's reaction gave literally Ashley the ick. And girl, I get it. Like, he was micromanaging everything she was picking up. And she was actually being vulnerable in this moment, just going on about how she dealt with bullying because of her size and how much she values food and loves food now because, she had those insecurities at a younger age. So having him micromanage the food is a trigger for her. And in my opinion, I feel like Billy took that feedback very well. He didn't know going into that, all that she had experienced with food. Like, they have different relationships with food. With his military background, he's more strict and wants to make sure, he's eating healthy and has a schedule. But I think her voicing her experience with it, he was able to see a different sight and light of it. And he also said, like, look, if there's a time where you want something sweet and you're like, hey, let's go out and get such and such, I'll be with it, just to be with you. Like, he's in full support. He doesn't want her to basically change her lifestyle to match his. And I think that was like the perfect response for him to give in this situation. So we're back to the family and friend visits. Barda introduces Jed to her best friend. And best friend don't play about Barda. You can just tell, like, she wants to know literally everything. Barda explains, like, this is her protector. She's the one, who's going to probably ask those tough questions. And she did. She wanted to make sure it was serious. And she was kind of checking Barda. And I don't know if this is going to be, like, alarming for Jed, but she was like, hey, the things that you're saying, you said to me before. I don't see how it's different. And now, we have this short amount of time to get to know each other. Like, I don't think the best friend is all into this decision. And I don't know if Bart is necessarily listening to her either. There are things with these experiments where things can get rushed and your adrenaline is high with all this love and passion and lust for each other, and then eventually it can deplete. And I think that's what the best friend was trying to get her prepared for. But we'll see. I think she's still going to support Barda at the end of the day and whatever decision she has to make. Sarover has a conversation with Cal about what she's been experiencing with her own family. Cal hasn't met her family yet, and it's not looking too good. She tells him, like, her mom has literally been hitting her up nonstop, and it's almost given like she's not accepting what's happening. Now, Sarover is the oldest, and as an oldest child myself, I get the pressure you have from your parents of always having to do things right and doing it the right way. And I think that's what she's struggling with. This is the first time she's kind of going against what her mom wants her to do. And, it could be hard. And I think, Cal gave good feedback to her. Like, look, they have these thoughts and feelings about me now, but they haven't had a chance to meet me. And it may change. Like, once they see them interact and they get a feel for him, it could possibly change. I just hope this doesn't turn Sarover away, because you know how family can get. And she seems like she's very family oriented. I don't want the pressure to just like overboil and it's too much for her where, she wants to leave Cal and just go back home. Javen takes Katisha to his house. And I'm sorry, y'all, there's no convincing me. This man does not like this woman. The whole scene just was like, awkward. Like, I don't see the chemistry between the two. I don't. Let me know in the comments if I'm wrong. I just don't see it. He shows her around. I feel like affirmations, words of affirmations mean a lot, right? If you're showing me your place, I would hope that you do whatever to try to include me. Like, oh yeah, this is where our bedroom would be. You could have this closet. Like, try to get me to feel like this is also my home as well. I don't feel like he gave that. And then they have a conversation about having dinner together. Like, Katisha, that's something of importance to her, that they do have dinner together, have that quality time they spend. And his response was like, I work late. And she's like, okay, what's late? And he's like, I might work till 9. So, you don't have to wait up for me to eat or whatever. And she's like, well, I eat late as well. And then there's also times, I believe she said, like, she works out, so she may also be getting late at, around 9 or 10. And then he goes to say, well, I'm in the bed by 10. And we're just like, what the is happening right now? What are you, just say you don't like her, because there ain't no way she's still trying to accommodate for y'all to have time together, and you just finding any reason for that not to happen. Talking about you eat at 9, and in 30 minutes, you'll shower and get in the bed. Boy, where is the compromise? You came in to sign up for this for love and marriage. You thought you were just going to live your bachelor lifestyle with a woman in your bed? No. Katisha, this man does not like you. Did no better timing, Mom and Sissy come to pay them a visit and meet Katisha. So they're having dinner. Mother cooked for them. And, things seem like they're going well. He delivers the news. This is who I'm engaged to. We're planning to get married. The sister, one of his older siblings, because he's the youngest out of all of his siblings, she's also engaged in planning a wedding. So she's like, okay, it's crazy how y'all did this within 3 weeks. I've been with my partner for X amount of years. And she has a separate conversation with Katisha. And Katisha, is like, look, I think more and act more on my heart. And Javen is more logical. And his sister even says he always has a smile on his face, regardless of how he's feeling. So he can be mad and have a smile on his face. He's not good with fully expressing how he feels. Clearly, we can see that. Like, he's always have some type of smile on, serious conversations. And that would be it for me. I'm gonna be real. I feel like she got a hint of that in the pods, of his emotional maturity or lack of, and how he has a hard time or struggling with expressing his emotions and feelings. And now you're seeing it in the real world, and it has not changed. And if anything, it's worse because it's in your face. So I don't know what's going to come about after all of this. I still don't think it's going to be a yes for either one of them. From both of them, I don't think they're both fully in. So Billy takes Ashley to meet his dad. And this conversation, child, was tricky. They're going on, obviously, about how they feel for each other. And it gets into the conversation of their careers. Billy being military, Ashley being like a stewardess or air flight attendant. Dad makes a comment and says, Billy said he would never marry a flight attendant. I don't know about y'all, but to me, I'm looking like, wait, what? You, to be so specific about what you not gonna do, and then wind up proposing to that exact person in that field, alarms rang for me. I don't know about Ashley, but it definitely rang for me. And, Billy's trying to do all he can to, like, reassure, like, nah, this ain't it. She's, we're good. But I don't know, comments like that, like, you just have to take a little bit serious, because it's like, why? Or what is it? Or what is it now? Because if you were so hell-bent of not doing that, what changed so suddenly? Like, yes, this is a whole different person, but I don't know. That's just a strong feeling to like put out, like just to be specific about women in that career. But we'll see if Ashley thinks hard on it or looks deep into it. I think his dad, likes her from, whatever, but I don't know. I don't know about y'all. That just kind of like made me look like, oh shoot, is this another thing that's cracking for them? Let the drama unfold. It's finally the get together where the couples meet with all the other pod contestants and meet face to face finally. And we have a lot of couples who had love triangles and now they're going to be in the same area. So we already know this is like a history of Love is Blind where it's finna go down during this whole get together mixer. We already starting off wrong because Javen's having a conversation with Kieran about really how much he ain't really that into Katisha. Like, he doesn't see a yes at the end of all this. There is no love there or whatever. And in comes Katisha, and of course, none of that is mentioned, which would have been the appropriate thing. Because, like, if you're talking about me to other people, Kieran could have excused himself and Javen could have had that conversation with her. He's not keeping it real. I really genuinely do not think Katisha fully knows how that man views their relationship. But staying on Kieran, in comes his old connection, Sophie. And you could tell Megan is not loving it. She has a fake smile, but Kieran and Sophie wind up talking, and there's really nothing there. I don't feel like there's anything for Megan to feel threatened by. Like, I don't think there's any flame still there. Even Sophie says, he's not her, particular type. She doesn't really go for blondes. So I think she's moved on for it. They've had a conversation where he apologized. I think it was, more closure on his end so that he can move forward with Megan. Now, the kicker is he went back to Megan and told her the conversation. And I never even noticed anything in the pods, but Megan clearly does not like Sophie. I guess Megan has been saying some things about Sophie to him, so he may have thought the conversation was going to go differently, and it didn't. It was very civil. And Megan, feels like that's just an act. Like, that's an act. This is why, like, I want to be protecting you, because she plays the game and she has some strong feelings about Sophie, which I was very surprised at, but I don't think it's necessary. I don't feel like Sophie wants Kieran. That's your man. Just be happy with him. Also, during the mixer, there was a heated discussion between Patrick and Aanu, and this is the first time they're meeting face to face after Patrick broke up with her in the pods. When she first got there, she greeted everyone, she hugged everyone. She definitely didn't hug that man, but she did decide to pull him for a chat, and she ain't hold back. She went fully in on him. She felt played. She felt like he was a liar because he kept saying, he couldn't wait to introduce her to his family and this, that, and the third, and just to break up with her so abruptly. And then even after that, didn't even check in on her after the pods. I think that was probably ignited the flame and rubbed her the wrong way. And that's why she went so hard at him. So it's safe to say there is no rekindling anything between these two. I guess Patrick, trusting your spleen, worked in your favor. And she dodged a bullet. So their whole thing definitely came to a close at the end of this. Now, do I feel like her lashing out was appropriate? Probably not. But, it's the first time you're seeing someone who's done you where you felt like they've done you dirty. So obviously emotions are going to be high. But, it's over between these two. So another conversation at the mixer was between Javen and Demola. Now, remember, Demola already met with Katisha and they squashed everything. So this was Javen and Demola's time to kind of talk about the decision and how it happened. And Demola kind of, expressed the same feelings that he did with Katisha. Like, it was just so sudden. But he looked at it as a blessing in disguise. Someone like that was so quick to make a fast decision and change their decision within 24 hours, then they're not the person for me. And I didn't know. Part of me, when I was watching it, I'm like, is Dewan trying to get into Javen's head and put doubt in his mind or whatever? Like, just the way he was going about it, the conversation. I don't know. What do y'all think? Like, do you think there was an ulterior motive on the things that he was saying to Javen? It was a little questionable, but I feel like Javen already had doubt from to begin with, because Katisha wasn't so upfront of what happened and how she made her decision, why she made her decision the way she did. But the rest of the night was definitely the Javen show. This man's eyes was wandering. He was flirting with Aanu, googly eyes with her. He had googly eyes for Yolanda, who didn't make it out the pods with a couple also. And then Sophie, y'all, the mask is gone. The conversation he had with Sophie was so inappropriate. Like, you would think that he was one of the singles and he wasn't fully engaged. It was crazy to watch his interaction with Sophie. And, part of it goes towards her too. She wasn't holding back or anything. She could have easily walked away, but she seems like the girl who likes the attention. And she said, I feel like Javen is probably her type, and vice versa. Just the way that they were interacting, like even making comments like, "Oh, I should have dated you more." I'm sorry, excuse me. Why would you say that to other women and your fiance is in the same room? The mask is gone, y'all. Javen's mask has fully dismantled off that man's face. Like, we're seeing who he really is. Even Sophie asked him, like, "Are you happy?" and stuff like that, and he not fully responding to it, giving some leeway, like, look, there's a crack or there's a door that could possibly be open. And what sucks about this is Katisha's there and she's watching it. She's watching him be in these women's faces, laughing and all this other flirting, basically flirting. Like, she held her composure very well that night, because it couldn't be me. And just him not having any care. This just proved to me all I needed to see. He does not want to be with Katisha. He does not like her. We already know he doesn't love her. It's a wrap for these two. Then an hour after the mixer, they go back home. Looks like they were sitting down to eat. And Katisha wants to know how the conversation went with Sophie. He's being very vague. Very, very vague about it. And then she calls it a night. And what does he do? When she calls it a night, he gets on his phone and makes plans to step out. He plans to step out. Now, I don't know who he called, but I can only imagine it had to be somebody from the show. That's what I feel like, because I feel like they all probably are still hanging out after the mixer. It's going to get ugly. It definitely is. This man, ew. Like, even the women that are flirting with him, like, y'all don't get the ick knowing he's engaged to another woman here. Like, that just, this is just messy, and Katisha definitely doesn't deserve it. I feel bad for her. So this episode, y'all, it really changed literally everything. This was a turning point where we seen emotional truths confront love, and the facades, they're falling. Aanu's bold confrontation with Patrick, I don't know if it shows growth, but heartbreak can be powerful if it's honest. And then Katisha's doubts about Javen, it's clear. I don't think she needs any other reassurance of how this is being perceived or what she's feeling. Sophie, you a little messy one, in my opinion. You a little messy girl. But I appreciate y'all watching episode 7 recap. Who surprised you the most at this mixer? Katisha, Aanu, or Javen? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that bell so you're always front row for the drama. I'll catch you guys next time. This season is just getting real.